Welcome back, students. In this class we continue the chapter 13, direct and inverse proportion, fifth problem. In this class, fifth problem, a farmer has enough food to feed 20 animals in his cattle for 6 days. How long would the food last if there were 100 more animals? So a farmer has how many? That is to feed only 20 animals in 6 days. So we have to see 10 more animals has been added. So we'll directly start the problem. So first we'll just draw a table roughly. So we'll see so much the first we'll write the number of animals in the cattle animals. Next is number of days. So number of days. So if we write like this, it will be very easy to solve the problem. So how many numbers? That is 20 numbers. Then the food lasts for 60 days. And next is how much? That is we have to add 10 more to this. That is 20 plus 10 is equal to 30 animals. So 10 animals has been increased. So we have to find out how many days the food lost. So solution. So what we say, as the number of one line I will write as the number of animals increases, the food will last for few days. Few days means as the number of animal increases, the food that lasts will also decreases, not increases. So you can use increase and decrease. Will last, or I can just add decreases. So now we'll take this table, that is 20 into 6 is equal to 30 into y. Therefore y is equal to 20 into 6 by 30. 3 ones are, then 3 twos are, 2 is equal to 4. Finally, hence the food would last for 4 days. So this is the solution. So a farmer is having how many? That is the 20 animals, and the food he has for only 60 days it lost. Again, if 10 more animals has been increased, that is 30 animals, and how many days will the food cost? So if the animals are 30, the food lasts for only 4 days. So this is the fifth problem. So we move on to the sixth one. So sixth one, a contractor estimates that 3 persons would rewire Jasminder's house in 4 days. If he uses 4 persons instead of 3, how long should they take to complete the job? For this problem also, we'll just write the table in all the problem. It will be easy to solve. Therefore, we'll take number of persons. How many? First, a contractor, 3 persons. The house work completed in how many days? Number of days. So this is how many days? 4 days. 3 persons, 4 days. Next, he has given that if the 4 persons means 1 person has been increased here, then how many days will the work last? So as we know, as the number of person increases, the number of days also decreases. Solution. So in every problem, write one point, that is number of, as the number of persons or workers, we can say persons increases, or person is more, I'll write more, the number of days, the work loss or work will be completed, work lost decreases. So this is the solution. So take the table, 3 into 4 is equal to 4 into y, therefore y is equal to 3 into 4 by 4. 4 cancel, then 3. So the time taken to complete the work by 4 persons in 3 days. So this is the solution. So a work was assigned to a contractor, that is the Jaspinder House, that is 3 workers were there, 4 days it required to complete the work. If one person is increased, means one worker is increased, that is 4, how many days will the work loss? That is work loss for only 3 days. So as the number of the workers increases, the number of days, the time taken to complete the work will be 3 days. So this is the solution for 6th. We move on to the 7th problem. 7th problem. A batch of bottles were packed in 25 boxes with 12 bottles in each box. If some batch is packed using 20 bottles in each box, how many boxes would be filled? Same thing here also, we'll write the table. So number of bottles. So or a tray, we consider it as a tray. So we have seen the number of bottles kept in the tray or packed, one pack. Therefore first number of bottles. So what is number of bottles is 12, and number of boxes. So one box contains how much? Number of boxes. So 12 is the number of bottles, number of boxes is 25. So next, see here, the batch of bottles were packed in, so number of bottles in 25 boxes with 12 bottles in each box. So each box contains how much? Each box 12 bottles. So next, each box will increase the as given in the question. If the same batch is packed using 20 bottles in each box, how many boxes would be filled? So how many boxes? So in each box there were 12. Now next is each box, next is 20 bottles. So now how many boxes we have to find out? Boxes is equal to how much? So now what happens? 12 into 25, this is y, therefore 20 into y. Therefore y is equal to 12 into 25 by 20. So this one 4, this one 5s are, the 4 ones are 4. 12, this is 4, 5s are, 4 ones are, 4 3s are. So 3 into 5, 15. Y is equal to 15. Therefore 15 boxes contains, that is 20 bottles each. Hence, so all these, as we saw, the problem 5th is also, this is the case of inverse proportion. Inverse proportion. In every problem we have to mention this case of inverse proportion, and also the sixth problem also, this is the case of inverse proportion. So this one, then this is also ends. Then 15 boxes would be filled. That's all. So number of boxes, each box will have 20 bottles. Each 20 bottles. So this is the answer. Next, this is the case of inverse proportion. Why? As the number of bottles increases, this will become number of boxes decreases. This is the case of inverse proportion. Now we move on to the 8th problem. Okay, a factory requires 42 machines to produce a given number of articles in 63 days. How many machines would require to produce the same number of articles in 54 days? Same thing, we'll write the box. So what is the number of machines? So number of machines, number of days. Number of machines, number of days. First number of machine is 42, number of days is 63. Next is, now same, now here number of days is 54, then how many machines is required? That's all. Factory requires 42 machine to complete the work in 63 days. Then how many machines? We have to calculate how many machines the same work, the same required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days. So we have to find out the number of machine. So this is also the case, as this one increases, this one. So as the number of machine increases, the number of days decreases. So this is the case of inverse proportion. Proportions. So next we'll take this 42 into 63 is equal, this will take y into 54, therefore y is equal to 42 into 63 by 54. Simplify this, we'll get y is equal to 49. So the number of machines required to produce the same number of articles in 54 days is 49. So hence 49 machines would be required. So this is the 8th. This comes with the 8th question. Now we move on to the 9th one. Ninth problem is, a car takes 2 hours to reach a destination by traveling at a speed of 60 km per hour. How long will it take the car to travel at a speed of 80 km per hour? So everywhere same procedure. First one, that is speed. You will take speed in kilometer per hour, that is how much? 60 first case. Number of hours, when that is 2 hours. So when the speed is 60 kilometers, that car travels at a speed, car takes 2 hours to reach 2 hours to reach a destination at a speed 60. Now we have to calculate if the speed increases, how many hours the car take to reach the destination. So this is y. So we'll take, this is also a case of, because as this increases, this decreases. As the speed increases, the number of hours required will decrease. This is the case of inverse proportion. The case of inverse proportion. Therefore, 60 into 2 is equal to 80 into y. Y is equal to 60 into 2 by 80. So simplify this, 2, 4, then 2 2s are 2 3s are. So we are getting 3 by 2, which is equal to 1.5. You can write it as 1.5. Hence, the time required, the time requires 1.5 hours with the speed how much? 80 kilometers, with the speed 80 kilometers per hour to reach destination. So this is the answer for, this is the solution for 9th problem. We move on to the 8th one. Sorry, 10th. Two persons could fit new windows in a house in 3 days. The first case is, one of the person fell ill before the work started. How long would the job take? First case will take, two persons will fit the windows in the house in 3 days. So first case will take, this is number of persons. First case, number of persons, how much? 2. Number of days, how much? Days is 3 days. So if the first case, if the person fell ill, means 2 person minus 1, then it will become only 1 person. So many days the work completes. Therefore, we'll take 2 into 3. 2 into 3 is equal to 1 into y. Therefore, 2 into 3, y is equal to 2 into 3 by 1. This is equal to 6. Therefore, if the person fell when requires 6, hence 6 days to complete the work by 1 person. So 6 days required. This is also the case of inverse proportion. As this decreases, this increases. So this is the case of inverse proportion. So now we can write here. Okay. Now I'll just tell in every problem, this is the case of inverse proportion. I'll just tell you. This is the question 10, second part. So now what is the second part means? How many persons would be needed to fit the windows in 1 day? So now this is directly second case is, we'll write the table, that is number of days. First number of days will take, that is 3 days. Number of persons, so number of persons, they have given only days, so this is, So number of persons, number of days first we take, then number of person we'll take second. So this will become number of days 3 and number of person. In the first case, number of persons first, number of days next, then here number of days first and number of persons next. 1, then this is how much number of persons. So for this, so 3 into 2 is equal to how much? 1 into y. Therefore, y is equal to 3 into 2 by 1. So therefore 6 days requires to complete. Hence 6 days require by 1 person to fit the windows. So this is only the same thing. First we had 1 and we found out how many persons. Next we will take it 6 days, then or how many person we calculated. That's all. In both the cases we are getting, because only in the first problem is that given 2, we just 2 minus 1 we made. So both the cases answer is same. So now the last problem in these exercises, 11th problem. So 11th problem is given. So both are the cases, 10th problem, both the cases are inverse proportion. A school has 8 periods a day, each of 45 minutes duration. How long would each period be if the school has 9 periods a day, assuming the number of school hours to be same? So we take the same thing. Number of periods. So number of periods here is 8. So a school has 8 periods in a day. So each length, duration of each period. Periods is what? 45 minutes. So if it's, they are given in the question, if it is 9 periods, how many minutes it will take for each period? So therefore 8 into 45 is equal to 9 into 8 into 45, 9 into y. So y is equal to 8 into 45 by 9, 5. Therefore 8 into 5 is equal to 40. So this is the case of inverse proportion, because as this increases, this decreases. As the number of periods increases, the duration for each period decreases. So this is the case of inverse proportion. So hence we can write as, hence each period would be, first it was for 8 period, it is 45 minutes each. Here since the periods increased by 9, so each period will be 45 minutes long. 45 minutes. So this is the solution for the last problem, 11th problem. This completes the chapter direct and inverse proportion. If you have any doubts, comment me, subscribe my channel, share and like all the videos. Thank you.